My perfect summer transfer window for Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United. Today, we're going to go through player sales and player acquisitions. We're going to be talking transfers, fees, and what Man United can bring in by selling some of the deadwood. On screen right now, we've got Manchester United's squad from the 22-23 season. There are a few players that are going to return from their loan spells at Manchester United, but there's other players that need to be moved on to not only free up transfer fees, but also wages. Manchester United are in a real pivotal season under Erik Ten Hag. Ten Hag's first season in charge was absolutely fantastic in terms of what he had to work with. Now it's time to spend the money and back the Dutchman. United reportedly have around £150 million to spend. There's a credit facility with the Bank of America that could go up to 300. But for today's video, we are going to stay in budget, and our net spend is not going to go over 150 million. Yes, you may think I'm a magician, but no, it's simple. It can be done. So let's get the party started straight away. First up, we're going to go through a bit of deadwood or players that maybe need to move on to generate fees. I reckon you could generate around £35 million selling the likes of Alex Telles, Eric Bay, Brandon Williams, Anthony Elanga and Facundo Pellistri. Of course, Facundo Pellistri and Anthony Elanga have a bit of potential. You could put buybacks into those contracts, but we want to bring some cash in, so selling those players completely, I think, would be a really good option. So let's move to the squad. Of course, we're setting Manchester United up in a 4-2-3-1. Again, we've got a kind of number 6 holding. We've got a box-to-box 8 that's going to move into the attacking line. That's how we've broken the squad. So starting in goal, of course, Manchester United need to buy a goalkeeper, but they've also got one to sell. Nottingham Forest are set to sign Dean Henderson for around £20 million. So he'll be going out, and a goalkeeper I think United should buy. Premier League ready, great with the ball at his feet, a fantastic shot stopper, one of the best keepers in the league this season. David Raya from Brentford comes in and instantly becomes the number 1 for Manchester United. So that's around spending around 30 million. That's reported in the press. Again, selling Dean Henderson for 20, buying Raya for 30, for me is great business with a net spend of only 10 million on those two transfers. I think that goalkeeper is going to provide a great base for Manchester United to build out the back and play through, but also sweep off the line. So moving to the defence, I think the defence is a really interesting part of the team. I think at times Manchester United look great out of the back. The possession's been good with Lisandro Martinez on the ball, but other times it's looked quite poor. One of the really interesting ones, I think, for the backline at the moment is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's had a great end to the season, massively improved under Erik Ten Hag. But with the reported interest around Aaron Wan-Bissaka, this for me is the best ever season to generate as much income as possible. £30 million could be brought in from the sale of Aaron Wan-Bissaka to a West Ham to a Crystal Palace. A good defender, fantastic on his day, in the top 1% of players in European football in terms of tackles dribbled, but possession football is what Man United need to do, so they need to buy possession-orientated players. So we're going to go to the Belgium League, we're going to go to Anderlecht and sign De Bast from Anderlecht. De Bast is a centre-half. He will eventually play centre-back. Eventually he'll be an absolutely fantastic centre-back. Really good on the ball, fantastic at carrying the ball out, dribbling past players, switches of play, line-breaking passes. The guy has massive potential. One weakness in his game at the moment is his ability to win aerial duels. That's why he's going to start his life at Manchester United playing right fullback. Could arguably play the Daily Blind role for Manchester United, building with 3 centre-backs, De Bast, Rafael Varane and Martinez, and then utilising the left-back a little bit higher at the pitch. So you sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 30 million, you buy De Bast for 25 million. You've actually still got £5 million in the bank, signing one of the best young defenders in Europe at 19 years old, already played for Belgium. Incredible, incredible potential. So let's move on to the centre-back position. Harry Maguire looks set to leave Manchester United, West Ham United, also Spurs are interested. This is the right summer for Maguire to move on. I think for himself, needs to play that football, needs to get the most out of his career, and under Erik Ten Hag, it doesn't quite look like he's going to be first choice, so it'd be advised for him to move on. Going to sell him for around 20 million and sign Kim Min-jae from Napoli. Kim Min-jae would instantly come in and become first choice. Kim Min's got the quality to be one of the best centre-backs in the league. He's got everything that I saw in Virgil van Dijk before he joined Liverpool from Southampton. Dominant in all aspects of defending, aerially, on the deck, great in possession, rotates the ball really well, keeps the tempo of the defensive side when they're in possession, would be perfect next to Lisandro Martinez. And he isn't going to cost that much money. It's not going to be an 80-90 million pound fee. and that's the calibre of player he is. He's going to be around £45 million. His release clause activates on the 1st of July. It's going to happen. The two centre-backs there of Martinez and Kim That is a top quality defence that can pressurise high up the pitch, that can be aggressive. And of course, Raphael Varane can become a second-choice right-sided centre-half. His experience in the squad, his ability to play in cup games, fantastic. Why would you not want to keep him there? But I do think there needs to be an upgrade if Manchester United want to continue. Kim is available, one of the best defenders in Europe last season for me. Got to be bought. So we're selling Maguire for 20. We're buying Kim for 45. We spent an extra £25 million already, so might need to cover our spending. So let's move on to the left-hand side of the defence. I think there's a hole there for an attacking weapon. And also with Luke Shaw, fantastic player in possession, could do a great job for Manchester United as kind of a holding inverted fullback, third centre-half. But I think what United need to do is buy some quality in that position. We haven't spent much money so far, but now we're going to absolutely get the checkbook out. And I think what I'd like to see is Luke Shaw move to the left centre-back role behind Martinez. So again, United could play Varane and Shaw in certain matches to rotate the team. And of course, Martinez and Kim are the number one options. Victor Lindelof has had a great end to the season. Another player that his value is probably at his highest right now. Man United could get around £15 million for Victor Lindelof this summer. I'd take that right now and I'd bring in Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich. When we're talking best left fullbacks in the world of football, Davies is the guy. Not only could he provide quality in the final third, but it gave United a real threat and pace on that left-hand side. You think Marcus Rashford and Alphonso Davies, United need to go back to buying the best fullbacks in Europe. You know, you've got two young players on the right-hand side in Diogo Dalot and Debas. You've got super big quality in Alphonso Davies. And I think the big thing in terms of his age, 22 years old, 2 years left on his deal, could get him for around 70 million by the reports. And I think you look at his real quality in the game, and it would just add an extra dimension to Manchester United. Playing this game as a left wing-back, 2 assists, 3 chances created in the match, completed 7 of his 10 dribbles, 2 shots on goal, won 10 of his 17 duels. He is up there with some of the best players in European football. Still at 22, obviously converted from a left winger to a left back by Bayern Munich after he moved from the MLS. It would just be a perfect signing. I think making money from selling Victor Lindelof this summer, moving Luke Shaw into the centre-back position, signing Alphonso Davies is an absolute must for me. And I think that's where I would outlay a lot of the cash, is in that position, as well, of course, up front. But we'll talk about that as we move through. So far, we've improved our defence, we've improved our goalkeeper. Let's go into midfield. I think Scott McTominay has been a really good player for Manchester United, but I do think his future is elsewhere. I'd love to see him in the Newcastle midfield. I think he'd be absolutely perfect in that position. I think he'd score goals, he'd win the ball back in an aggressive manner, and he's got someone like Bruno Guimaraes at number 6 to control the play so he can play an attacking role. I think that would be a perfect move for him this summer, signing for Newcastle. But United need another number 6. Technically Casemiro is the only 6 in the squad. Obviously going to Fluminense and signing Andre is the easy bit of business, probably the easiest bit of business of the summer. Could sign him for around 20 million. Nottingham Forest were interested in January for him. They signed Danilo for 17 million. The fee was supposed to be very similar for Andre, so I've given them an extra 3 million because I really like Fluminense. He's a player that can get on the ball, that can control the tempo of games. He's a fantastic passer. He's aggressive off the ball. Perfect Premier League midfielder. Young, got the quality to play at a real top level. Andre coming in for 20 million. Scott McTominay leaving Manchester United for around 30 million. We've made an extra 20 million again. We are making money because we spent quite a bit of money on Alphonso Davies. Moving to the number 8 role, again, Christian Eriksen's provided quality for Manchester United. In the final third, only Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford have got more assists this season, but it is an area where United need to improve. We're not selling Christian Eriksen, though we are selling Fred. 1 year left on his deal. Get around £15 million for Fred. Marco Silva and Fulham looked interested at the last game of the season. We're going to go for a straight swap. 15 million for 15 million. Fred's going to go out and Enzo Lefebvre is going to come in. This lad, top quality, tackles plus interceptions. One of the best players in Europe for that metric. But he's a playmaker. He gets on the ball, creates chances. Devastating from set pieces. I'd love to see his development. Whoever signs in the summer is getting absolute world beater. Would have loved to say that was Branko van der Boomen, but he's joining Ajax, unfortunately, because Sven Mittelast decided that he was a good player. New director of football at Ajax. But we're going to bring in Enzo Lefebvre for 15 million. Straight swap for Fred. We're not spending any other money in that position. And that is fantastic. We spent 35 million and we bought 2 of the best young central midfielders in the world. We bought Brazil's best in Andre and we bought Enzo Lefebvre from France, 15 mil. Great use of the budget. Big thing for today. We're building for the future. We're signing young, talented individuals that can work with Ten Hag for a while. The United squad has got enough experience in it now, with Kim, Martinez, Shaw, Varane, Casemiro in there, Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen. We're buying some youth today. That would be my ideal window for United. The long term. Imagine that. Long-term plan. Right, let's move into the attacking positions. Man United are quite stacked on both flanks. Garnacho, Rashford, Antony, Sancho, and of course Amad Diallo, who should come back to United and make big impact. 13 goals in the Championship last season. Superb development. He also played at number 10 at times, and he linked with the right winger, Patrick Roberts, Sunderland to great effect. Big potential for Amad. I'm excited that he's finally realising that. He might need one more season out on loan, so maybe we send him out on loan for one more year to continue his development, because it's been so good seeing him play football and getting that. So I don't think we need any reinforcements on the right wing, on the left wing. At number 10, we probably do. Bruno Fernandes is the only playmaking number 10 United really have. Obviously, Jadon Sancho spent a bit of time playing there, and we could see that going forward as a bit of an option for Man United, but when looking at the squad, I think there's a spot there. And Donny van de Beek will be sold for around £15 million. He needs to play football. I really want Donny to be happy to be back playing football. £15 million is a great deal. Could sell him back to Ajax, let's say. And the player that we're going to bring in is from Fenerbahce. It's a player that I've discovered over the last few weeks that I'm so excited to see where he goes and how he develops. Arda Güler looks like one of the best young players in European football. Touch, technique, passing range, finishing ability, dribbling, carrying, use of the outside boot. This guy is ridiculous. Look at one of his recent games. 7 chances created, 3 big chances created, 1 assist playing on the right wing for Fenerbahce in their 4-4-2. Won 4 out of his 6 tackles. This kid has got humongous potential. And with the reported release clause of €17 million, you've just got to do it this summer. So bringing in Güler from Fenerbahce, got to happen. Potential 100 out of 100. Could be one of the best players. This is where I see him. Incredible talent. Cheap as anything. Get another young player in the squad to play second fiddle to Bruno Fernandes. Also could do a job wide right, wide left as a number 8. Could even play that role long term as the number 8. I am incredibly surprised how good he is. Turkey's got a good number of young players coming through. There's another good young centre-back, and there's quite a nice little wing-back that I like coming through at Fenerbahce at the moment. But United are just going to get one at the moment to sign him through. So he sorted out that number 10 position. Again, looking at my squad building, I like to have 2 players in each position that can play multiple different roles and squads. You think this United team could play 3 at the back easily. You throw in, Debas, Varane, Martinez, or Kim, Martinez, Debas. Delo as one wing back, Davies as the other wing back, 2 in midfield, 3 forwards. Chef's kiss. Fluidity. But let's move into the striking position, because we haven't spent that much money so far. We've made quite a bit of cash back, but let's move to the striking position. Wout Weghorst, of course, no Premier League goals, but the energy, the work rate, especially in the game against Barcelona, going to remember that. But also the Carabao Cup final. I thought he played really well in that. The assist for Rashford. Really good performance, but I don't think at the right level and the right age that I'd like to see Manchester United grow. One player that has exploded this season, Gift Orban, is a player that is going to continue to score goals. The Nigerian is only just starting his career. He's at Ghent at the moment after signing from Norway this summer. In terms of his goal record, 15 goals and 2 assists in 16 games. This guy has got so much potential. Usually plays in a front 2, will link the play, will spin into the channels, quick, good on the ball, likes to receive to feet, powerful finisher, just an absolute tap-in. Release clause 17 million. Why not buy one of the most talented young forwards in the world? Easy. We've let go Weghorst, we've saved the wages there, and we've bought in a player that has incredible talent. But let's move to our number 9. I feel the way that United should go, my dream would be the young players. If you look at the players that I've brought in, all of a certain age and a certain demographic in terms of we've got aggression in there, we've got players that want to work, we've got players that are technically skillful, that have got the quality. And I think with that idea, Anthony Martial, we're probably not going to get a single £5 for him. Release him on a free transfer, save the 200 plus K a week wages, and sign Rasmus Højlund from Atalanta for a reported 52 million or 60 million euros. For me, that is a bargain for a player that is great in the box finishing, that has incredible pace, moving from deep, that operates as a winger, wide left and wide right to create for his teammates. Massive, massive potential. Erik Ten Hag's a fan, I am a fan, and I've just bought two of the young best centre-forwards in European football that both could even play together. You could play one of them wide. You just have two players there that you can combine and grow into something special. And you're thinking that you're spending only 69 million on two centre-forwards with brilliant potential. That is where I would go. And if we're looking at the overall, this is my squad on screen right now. The 4-2-3-1 would be the starting formation. In terms of first teamers, we go with David Raya in goal, Delo, Kim, Martinez, Davies, Casemiro, Enzo Lafay, and then a front three of Højlund, Rashford, and Anthony or Sancho, let's say, with, of course, Bruno Fernandes in behind. Second team's quality. Second team can play the same style of football easily, which I think is a big thing. In terms of the player sales and the signings, we have sold 13 players and we've ended a loan move. Of course, McTominay for 30 million, Wan-Bissaka for 30, Maguire for 20, Dean Henderson for 20, Victor Lindelof for 15, Fred for 15, Donny van de Beek for 15, Elanga for 10, Pellistri for 10, Telles for 5, Bay for 5, Williams for 5, Anthony, Martial for a free transfer, and we've ended Weghorst's loan. That total player sales takes us to 180 million. That is quite conservative. I'm not going outside the box. These are conservative fees for these players. We still generated 180 million. In terms of our signings, from top to bottom, we are buying Alphonso Davies for 70 million. We're signing Højlund for 52, Kim Min-jae for 45, David Raya for 30, Debas for 25, Andre for 20, Gift Orban for 17, Arda Güler for 17, and Enzo Lafay for 15, taking our spend to a 291 million and a net spend of 111 million. We've still got 39 million pounds in the bank as well to buy someone else. Players that we could look to sign. Sergio Milinkovic-Savic to add some experience in that number 8 role. 28 years old, out of contract in 2024. He's second for assists in Serie A this season with 8. He's got 9 goals and 8 assists that season, reached double figures for goal involvements in 6 of his last 7 Serie A seasons. Alternatively, buying someone from Leicester City and Wilfred Ndidi, relegated but a powerful ball winner that could instantly slot in the Premier League. And we've got 39 million pounds in the bank. If Man United weren't as stingy and maybe had 200 million pounds to spend, that's the 100 million for Harry Kane. And then you have Harry Kane, Gift Orban, and Højlund. You could loan one of those players out. You could loan Gift Orban out for a season, and you'd have Højlund as Kane as your starting strikers. But we've gone with youth today. This is my dream summer transfer window for Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United, and this will put United back in the correct position in European football. But anyway, guys, get into the comments. Who would you sign? Who would you sell? And do you think we've been accurate with our player transfers and, of course, our player sales? Because I think we've been very, very fair. Almost been a bit mean, but, that's that. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you do. We'll see you later.